Hello, welcome to another Broadway Family Karate video tutorial. This is week 7, honors, A-Day material. Okay, first thing, let's go ahead and bow in. Salute. Yeah. Tenets of Taekwondo begin. Courtesy, humility, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Okay. So let's go ahead and start by going right leg out in front in a good sparring stance. We're going to look at back fist, reverse punch combination. Okay. So 1, 2, reverse. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch feet. Okay. Back fist, reverse punch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Second thing we're going to look at is that knife hand strike that we see in our Pattern Do San. It's done out of a horse stance. So let's take just a quick moment to look at the horse stance. I'm going to go ahead and start in our chin V position. Go ahead and take your right leg, step out just a little bit wider than shoulder width. Bend those knees. I take just pull them into my hips. I want to keep my back nice and straight. Make sure my knees are bent. I want to feel my legs working to keep me into this stance. Go ahead and turn to the side. A little bit easier. So feet shoulder width apart, knees bent. Bring those hands in so you can see my head is over my shoulders, over my feet. I'm not leaning forward or leaning back. If you feel yourself tipping, go ahead and just bend those knees just a little bit further down. Okay? It doesn't need to be exaggerated. It doesn't have to be way down to the floor, but you do want to feel it working. Okay, so let's go down into that horse stance. We're going to start by doing a knife hand strike with our left hand. So I'm going to take my left hand. I want to make sure I keep my fingertips nice and tight together. Thumb in at my side. Curl those fingers down just a little bit. Now I want to go ahead and chamber that across my other shoulder. Okay, so I can pat myself. I want my palm in. Okay, my other hand can just start underneath. I'm just going to look to the left. Bring that through and strike. Now this is a middle section strike, so I do want to kind of keep my hand down a little bit. It's going into the body, not into the head. So I'm just going to come here, strike through, keeping those fingers tight together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch hands. So we go right hand, fingers tight together, curl it down. Your left shoulder, looking to my right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Okay. Last technique we're going to take a look at in our warm-ups is going to be the RIDGEHAND Strike. It's going to be our sparring combination, sparring technique that we're going to be using. For the RIDGEHAND Strike, the hand position looks a lot like the knife hand strike. You're actually using a different part of the hand. Everybody just put your hand up. Your pinky side, that is your knife hand edge. So when I'm doing a knife hand strike, this is the part of my hand that I'm striking with. Now for the ridge hand, my fingertips are tight together. My thumb is actually tucked across my hand, and I'm actually using the thumb side. Okay? That is my ridge hand striking surface right there. So just tuck that thumb across. So let's go ahead and we're going to start nice and slow. We're going to go left leg in front in a sparring guard. Okay. I get my hand shape, and I'm just going to bring it up and across. A nice little roll over at the very end. One thing I do want you guys to watch, especially once you start using this free sparring, is that you're not bringing it way out and in like a haymaker. You want to keep it nice and close and just roll it over at the last second. Normally this is to the top. Normally I aim right for the ear holes on the helmet. That's a good place to put your ridge hand. But when I get into a good sparring combination, we're just going to roll it over and strike. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch sides. So right side forward, right hand, ridge hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's do a quick stretch over to your right. Switch sides. And bend your hips. Gently over backwards. Reach up towards the ceiling. And down towards the floor. Long reaches across your body. Bad angle towards the ceiling. Let's see, we're going to be doing ridge hands and knife hands today, so let's get a good stretch with our shoulders. So let's take our left arm across, push in, back of our right. Really kind of stretch out that shoulder. And switch sides. Left elbow up. And pull across. Switch sides. Link your fingers. Out of the way. Shove. Good. Back to ready. Show you can. Okay, first thing we're going to look at in our lesson today is pattern do song. We are focusing on the first merit of a good pattern, which is good technique. What good technique means is we want to work each individual technique in the pattern the best that we can. So we want to work on each individual technique, trying to get it the best that we can do it. So we're going to start with that knife hand strike out of the horse stance. Now you're actually going to see this combination of moves in different patterns. So this is something that you will definitely use later on. So we're going to go ahead and start with, we're going to start down into our horse stance that we just practiced. Knees bent, feet a little wider than shoulder width apart, toes pointed towards the front, okay? Back nice and straight. So we're going to take our, it's going to be my left hand. You guys is going to look left to your right, okay? I'm going to look to my left, and I'm going to strike, okay? After that first knife hand strike, I'm going to go ahead, bring that in, I'm going to switch hands, I'm going to put my right hand on top. And I'm going to move. So I'm actually going to move into a new horse stance. So I'm going to bring my left foot to my right, step out with my right foot, back into a good horse stance, sitting stance, do a knife hand strike on the other side. So we're trying to keep the level, or one level as we move through the horse stance. So let's actually just work that a few times without even worrying about the hands. We can just put it right on our hips. Okay, so we're going to be down into that horse stance, okay? Nice and shoulders nice and wide, nice and upright. And we're just going to step and step. Okay? Then we're going to go back the way we just came. Just step and step. Okay, and then back. Of course, if I'm moving in that direction, I do want to look in that direction. Okay, and now I'm going to do a couple facing the other way so you can kind of see the horse stance. So as I move towards the camera, I look, put up, back down into that horse stance, back the other way, keeping everything nice and level. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the knife hand strikes in. Okay. So we're sitting in our stance. We have our striking hand over our opposite shoulder. We're looking in that direction. We're going to strike. Okay. Bring it back. Chamber the other hand on top. Step, step out, and strike. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Let's do a view from the side. Okay. So I'm going to do my strike. Here. Chamber my hand, look the other way, and strike. And then going back the other way. Strike. Strike. Okay. We will look at that in our pattern dosan. That's going to be our focus technique. So it's located towards the end of the pattern, at the very end of the pattern. So we will get to it. Practice keeping level. Get back into your horse stance before you throw that knife hand strike. Okay, we're going to work dosan by count. I'm going to go one view towards the camera. I'm going to do two times off to the side so you guys can see dosan from 2 different angles. Okay. Chuẩn dosan, my count, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, ready, go. I break. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Going into those knife hands. Look over. We are looking over our left shoulder. We're going to come all the way back around to the front. Into that horse stance. 1. Okay, chamber the other hand. Look, step back, and 2. Okay. There's a key up on that end. I'll go ahead and throw that in next time through. Okay, very good. That is dosan front to end, front to back. So let's go and look at it from the side. Okay, 준비. Okay, dosan, my count, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, ready, go. I break. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Chamber my left hand over my right shoulder, looking all the way back facing direction I started in. 1. Step and go. Aye! Okay, very good. Quick breather, we'll run through that one more time. Like I said, we are working on good techniques. We want to take our time, work the techniques slow. We can build up power and speed later on. Right now, we just want to make sure that we're doing each one of the techniques as correct as we can. Okay, dosan. One more time from the side. 준비. dosan, my count. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Ready, go. Aye! Break. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All the way around. 1, and go. Aye! There's some. Next thing we are going to look at is going to be a closer look at that the knife hand strike that we see in Do-san. We're going to work it with the target. We're going to work it out of a horse stance. Now before we get to the target, I'm going to go over just a few things on the knife hand strike. Knife hand strike is one of my favorite board breaking techniques. So, a couple of quick things that you need to know before you start slamming your knife hand into things. You want to keep your fingers tight together. Okay, keep that thumb tight. I curl my fingers down just a little bit. I think it gives me a little more tension in my palm. Okay, I have a really good striking surface. You want to be close enough that you're not striking with your fingertips. Okay, it hurts. You want to make sure you're striking with this part of your hand, right there. Okay? So as you get to the target, whether it's a shield or whether you're board breaking with it, you want to make sure you're close enough to make contact with the correct part of your hand. Once you get comfortable with the technique, just like most of our other techniques, you can twist your hips into the strike and give you a lot more power. Okay? Not going to worry too much about that, maybe on the last couple of strikes. But for right now, we want to just get that hand shape, get the distancing correct, and then last couple we'll probably try to add just a little more power. Okay, so let's see, Mr. DISSELKOEN, you can have a target. Okay, he's going to hold it off to the side. I'm going to get down into a nice, comfortable horse stance, and I'm going to go ahead before I even start. I'm going to check my distance. A little far away. I'll just catch it with my fingertips. Okay? So I'm not going to move once I get into my horse stance. Right about there. I like to hit right in the middle of the target, this part of my hand. So chambering, I'm striking with my right hand, so I've got it over my left shoulder. I'm going to look towards the target. I'm just going to bring it through and strike. Just curl on your fingertips. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do a little twist. So just like get into your horse stance, twist your hips away from the target and come through. 7, twist. 8, and 9, and 9. Okay, so I'm just going to swap places. I'm going to use my left hand. It's been a while since I've done the horse stance, so let me feet rest, my thighs rest. If you're doing the horse stance correctly, you should feel it. You should have to work. If you're really comfortable and standing up like this, you can do this all day. Okay, good, nice. And remember, these are midsections. So on Mr. DISSELKOEN, right into the ribs, midsection. We'll use the target. Okay, check my distance. I'm good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do a little twist. And 7, 8, and 9. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Work a little bit with the distancing. That's the tricky part with the knife hands. You want to make sure that you're close enough that you're striking with the padded part of your hand. Okay. Yay. Okay. From the knife hand strike, we're going to move on to our sparring technique, which is the RIDGEHAND strike. This is with the opposite part of your hand. This is with the thumb side. This is a much more delicate part of your hand. You don't see people breaking boards with the ridge hand. Okay? You see it a lot in pattern work. You see it a lot in free sparring. It's a really nice free sparring technique. Gives you about an inch or two more reach than a punch. So it gives you a little more distance on the strike. So let's go ahead and go right side forward in our sparring stance. Okay, so we're doing a lead hand, ridge hand strike. Aiming up nice and high and just rolling in at the last second. So I don't want to start way back here and kind of swoop it in. I want to keep it nice and close and just roll it in at the last second. Okay, so we got right side in front, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to do a couple of doubles. So we're going to go 1, 2. We'll bring it in twice. Okay, and go. 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 And go. Okay, switch sides. So the left side forward. Snap it in there. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Doubles. 2. Okay. Wait till they block that first one. As they drop that guard, that's when you throw that second one in there. Okay, and go. Go. And go. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, we're going to work this on a shield. We're going to work this we're going to work it off stationary. We're going to start with the singles. We'll work the doubles. Once you feel pretty comfortable with the technique and the distancing, you can move around a little bit. This is actually a really good one to do a floor drill with. Now, what we're going to do, when we do the floor drill part, Mr. Disco's going to have the shield down. Partner's just going to bring the shield up. It's going to be a high position. You're going to throw the ridge hands when they bring the shield up. So we're going to start stationary. Mr. Disco. So we're going to start left side in front. So you see he's holding it to the side. Not quite Mr. Discoen height, but well, ear height. Like I said, I really like aiming right for those little padded parts where the ears go. That's really a great place to put a ridge hand. Okay? I want to check my distance because, like with the knife hand, I want to be close enough that I'm not catching just my fingertips, but I'm actually kind of getting this part of my hand. It's not quite as critical when we're sparring because we do have the gloves on, but you don't want to be this far and having to reach way in and try to flick a ridge hand on the target. So you want to be in close enough to get a good solid strike. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, left side forward. We're going to start with singles. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we'll put some doubles in. Okay, and go. 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 And go. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Let's see. Let's go and keep it like this. No, that's good. Now let's go switch. Okay, right side forward. Okay, just going to bring it across. Check your distance. Make sure you're close enough. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, doubles, and go. 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 And go. Okay. Me and Mr. Just going to work this as a movement drill. So basically what we're going to do, I'm going to have everybody start left leg in front. So we're going to be using the left hand for the ridge hand. And we're going to do doubles. He's going to keep the shield down when he raises it up. Oops, sorry. I'm going to hit it. Okay, he's going to keep it down. We're going to keep left side. we'll switch hands. Both of us will switch hands about halfway through. Okay, so want to keep a good guard position. Okay, we want to make sure as we come out of that ridge hand, bring the shoulder for me, that I don't just drop my guard. Okay, I want to strike and then bring that guard back out. Okay, so we're going to move. A little harder on the distance. Okay, let's go ahead and switch. So he's going to put the shield on the other hand so it's facing away from him. I'm going to switch right side forward. And the same thing. Be real careful. Slow as you start. If you're too far away from the shield, either you're going to miss it, or even worse, you're just going to catch the fingertips. Okay? So work on that distancing. So it's up. Okay? One more time. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Very good. Whew. So with the ridge hands, practice them. Start them off nice and slow. Try to keep them nice and tight. If you're bringing them way out and in, your partner's going to see that. It's going to be really easy to block. And of course, we do multiples. Because if you're sparring anyone that's had any practice, they won't have a whole lot of problems blocking that first one. Okay? That's why we throw two. A lot of times, they block that first one, they drop their guard, you can get them with the second one. Okay? So, for today, week 7, honors A lesson, we looked at Do-san, focusing on good technique, first merit of a good pattern. Really focusing on the knife hand strike out of the horse stance. Okay? Practice the horse stance on its own, especially if it's a new technique for you. Then add the knife hand strikes in. If you do this for a few minutes and you don't feel your legs having to really work, you're probably not bending those knees enough. Okay? We looked at the knife hand strike on a target, okay? Working on hand shape, distancing, technique, and we looked at a new free sparring technique, that ridge hand to the inside. Okay, really easy to get these two mixed up because the hand shape is pretty close to the same. Just remember, if you're going to break a board, you don't want your thumb in the way. Okay, I've never seen anyone do a ridge hand board break. Okay, knife hand, pinky side, knife hand. Okay, we're going horizontal. Okay. Ridge hand on the thumb side. Just tuck it across, bring it in. Very good. Let's go ahead and bow out. So, face me. Okay. Shayut, Hine. Student oath, begin. I pledge to be a champion of freedom and justice. I pledge to observe the tenets of Taekwondo. I pledge to respect my instructors and my fellow students. I pledge never to misuse Taekwondo. I pledge to build a more peaceful world. Yine. Very good. Thank you very much. I will see you next week. Yine.